Hello, folks, and welcome to another review and thoughts on. Um, Now, this one is a 2012 uh, thriller, horror. It's a home invasion film, and now I've seen a good amount of home invasion films, and I'm not really a big fan of them. The best one I can really say is The Strangers Prey at Night. Granted, the first one had elements I liked. I liked the concept, but the whole execution of it was just horribly done. Um, Unlike the second one, which I thought was way better with smarter characters, most overall, and a better ending to a degree. Now, this movie stars Selma Blair, who know her from Hellboy, who plays I forget her character's name in that set of movies. I haven't seen them in a while. I have them. I just don't. I haven't watched them in a while. But she plays like the fire chick in those movies. But here she plays a mom. Pretty much the movie follows a family of three: a husband, a wife, and a son. They're retreating to their vacation home, and pretty much random these other this other three this other family randomly, you know, intrudes on them and wants to get to know them. And long story short, they give off creepy vibes, and stuff happens. And Selma Blair's family has to try to survive the night of these crazy neighbors. Now, the film doesn't have, it's not a action heavy film. It's not gory at all. Um, I mean, even like the only real gore you get is somebody getting stabbed in the chest, um, maybe getting shot, but then you really don't even see that, the impact of it. Well, clarify, you do see one person get shot point blank in the head, so yeah. But overall, it's not really a gory film. There's nudity, which I was like, what? Because Selma Blair's character, who's a mom, uh, there's a point where her and her husband are in her bedroom and they're taught. I guess their marriage is like on the rocks, or they're not really doing too well. I do Due to, I guess, what we find out, that they had a daughter, and the daughter died a few years back or so, a car accident. So I guess that's why they're kind of, you know, off to each other, or distant to each other anyway. Um, so yeah, you have them, and then you have this weird family that just shows up, and they seem nice at first, but you can tell they're kind of awkward people. Like the first time you see them is they knock on the door, I believe, at 5 or 6 in the morning, waking them up to drop off some firewood, and um, the dad, Bobby, of this other of the neighbors, um, he gives off like very awkward, but he wants to know a lot about Selma Blair and her husband. And there's even the dinner scene is a bit awkward and weird, where the like they send off their son to play with with the neighbor's son upstairs in his room, and I love how their kid runs downstairs crying, and then the other neighbor's kid is, because you find out this family is crazy, and or nuts, and it's weird because they're trying to steal other people's identities because I guess they want the perfect life or whatever. So they're like parasites in a way. Um, but stupid decisions in this by the husband because he knows after the whole their son had an accident with the neighbor's son or accident and then a scary encounter with the neighbor's son. It was like a bit older than him, I guess. Um, Pretty much they want them to leave, and they do, but then they come back, of course, and stuff happens. But the husband is like goofy because he ends up, I'm gonna go, because they cut the phone line or whatever, so I'm gonna go next to the other neighbors down the road or whatever to try to get a phone line or landline. And I'm like, dude, you have a revolver or a gun, you can or a pistol, you can literally, stay in your house, guard all the rooms, or stay in one room. You know these people have guns because they shot your dog, or at least the the son or the evil son, the neighbor's son. He shot their dog. You find out, and then I'm like, but then this kid, it sucks because, and you don't even see what happens to that kid at the end. Like you just get, um, but yeah, that I would have been like, the kid literally threatened to kill my kid, so I'm, because he has his gun trained at the kid, like, and the kid even says, I guess his dad shot his dog, but then he admits later on that he killed before. So then I'm like, okay, so this kid's a murderer. Second, he literally put a knife to my kid's throat, trying to kill him. So that gives you automatic, you know, oh, you would kill a kid? I mean, to save my family, you know, all, uh, no rules. You cross that line, no rules. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's well acted from Selma Blair at least. Um, the guy that plays Bobby, like the crazy neighbor dad, he was okay, a bit over the top at times. The lady that plays the neighbor mom, Jane, I looked her up, and apparently she has like a some. I guess she has like a diet. She's been diagnosed with something. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, even the name of it. I guess she has a hard time walking at times or standing for long periods of time. But I didn't mind her acting. I thought she was decent. She gave off more of a Harley Quinn, early Harley Quinn. Because this girl is kind of just going through the motions with this Bobby guy, who's, and I guess the kid is her brother, her younger brother actually, and not her son. Which then I'm like, okay. But yeah, like the end, like I don't know what happens to, because the Bobby guy, the evil neighbor dad, he dies, gets shot. But the crazy Jane character and the Jarrett, her brother, son, but brother, kid. I don't know what happens to him because it just shows Selma Blair and her husband and son are with the ambulance, and then we see a cop car with the Jane character in the back of it, and so we don't know what happens to the other kid. Which I'm like, maybe, well, whatever. But yeah, I was not a fan of this film at all. Again, characters doing dumb stuff where literally you have, people pointing guns at you, and you can literally try to overpower them at least, or attempt to fight. back. Literally, there's of course a cliche scene where a lead character gets really really mad and tries to go Super Saiyan, and instead of actually doing something like trying to fight the intruder, they literally do the whole have the person pull or point the gun at their head and start shouting at them to pull the trigger. I'm like, why are you doing that? I get he killed your brother, but you can literally like try to, I don't know, maneuver the rifle or whatever, a gun, and try to, fight the guy. But no, we just, and then even that scene where the lead guy's brother that comes in later on when he dies. During that scene, there's literally he chases, I guess, the evil neighbor guy around in the kitchen, and literally you see Selma Blair and the crazy chick just mourning over the dead body of the brother, and during that you see the two dads literally chasing each other around in the kitchen during a scene that's supposed to be, sad or whatever. But this whole time I'm laughing because I'm seeing both of them playing like tag in the kitchen or whatever, or musical chairs. Because he was going like this the whole time. I'm like, seriously, like it just looked goofy. But and that's when you get the scene where he's like, shoot me, pull the trigger. I'm like, I would be like, yeah, shoot, you might as well do that because this guy's dumb. I mean, to a degree, just dumb. I don't care for this film at all. Again, it's shot fine, it's acted fine, um, but it's been done before. The home invasion thing's been done before. Nothing new here. Um, Pretty lame ending, if you ask me. Granted, it's not a cliche, downbeat ending or whatever, but still, it's kind of just boring, and it's not really an eventful film. There's much better films with home invasion. Again, go watch Strangers Pray at Night, or You're Next, or other films that deal with that. So, yeah, I would say pass.